How to remain unaffected and composed by others, embracing Stoic philosophy. Picture yourself in the heart of a battlefield, yet this is not a conflict waged with blades or firearms. This is the arena of your thoughts. Each day presents its challenges, a sharp word from a stranger, a friend's disloyalty, a fleeting moment of disrespect that stirs a deep passion within you. Your body tightens, your thoughts cry out for retribution. But what if you were completely devoid of feeling? What if nothing, no offense, no treachery, no situation could ever provoke your anger again? The reality is, anger isn't something that others create, it's something you permit. We are conditioned to think that frustration and rage are inherent responses, yet the most brilliant thinkers throughout history understood otherwise. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, individuals who confronted war, exile, and betrayal, achieved such mastery over their emotions that nothing could disturb their inner peace. Their hidden truth. Embracing the principles of Stoicism. This is not about being passive or devoid of emotion, it's about mastering your mind with complete authority. Today, I will guide you on how to remain unbothered and composed in the face of others, not through the suppression of feelings, but by mastering them. By the end of this, you won't merely grasp Stoicism. You'll embody it. Are you prepared to reclaim your strength? 1. The illusion of control, why most people remain perpetually angry. A man sits in his car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly that his knuckles turn white. He was let go by his boss, unexpectedly, without any warning or justifiable reason. Fury surges through him as he revisits the scene repeatedly in his mind. His thoughts are consumed by blame. His organization was unethical. The economy was in decline. His superior was unjust. In an instant, everything he had built, his career, his future, his very sense of security, was torn away from him. And yet, there he remained, trapped in a cycle of his own fury, utterly devoid of any power to change his circumstances. This is the way many individuals exist. They perceive anger as an event that befalls them, an innate, uncontrollable force that emerges when life strays from their expectations. They perceive it as warranted, as unavoidable, as evidence that they have been wronged. But what if that wasn't the case? What if anger wasn't an emotion imposed upon you, but a deliberate choice you made? The truth is, anger is merely a habit, a conditioned response, developed over years of reacting to situations in a consistent manner. We think it happens on its own, but that's not the case. It's a continuous loop. A cycle that persists solely because we permit it to. At the heart of this illusion lies a perilous conviction, the conviction that we possess the power to govern the external world. We anticipate individuals to behave in a specific manner, for life to unfold justly, for events to progress seamlessly. When reality fails to meet those expectations, frustration begins to mount. A companion turns against us, an outsider hurls insults, a promise crumbles, and in an instant, we sense a personal affront. We fight against the circumstances as if, through sheer determination, we can compel the world to change. Yet, the world remains indifferent. The world advances, unyielding to our feelings, unmoved by our indignation. The sole constant is our transformation. Our tranquility is disrupted, our concentration is diverted, and our strength is diminished. A Stoic, however, perceives the truth behind this facade. He recognizes that anger is never a result of outside circumstances. It stems from his interpretation of those occurrences. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who governed Rome amidst plagues, wars, and betrayals, understood this profoundly. His realm faced perpetual peril. His nearest companions betrayed him. And still he stayed steadfast. What is the reason behind this? He had achieved mastery over the one thing that could never be taken from him, his mind. He expressed, "You possess control over your thoughts, not the external circumstances. Understand this and you will discover power Meditations. The individual who faced job loss might have chosen a different response. Rather than perceiving his circumstances as a personal affront, he might have embraced them as merely another occurrence in the fluid tapestry of existence. He might have pondered, what is still within my grasp? Rather than succumbing to despair, he might have redirected his energy towards the next chapter, embracing a new opportunity, reinventing his career, and embarking on a fresh start. His superior might have assumed his role, yet he could not accept his reply. This is what distinguishes those who endure perpetual suffering from those who maintain their composure amidst any tempest. The individuals who endure pain think they need to manage every aspect. Those who flourish recognize that their only true influence lies within themselves. When you truly embrace this reality, you liberate yourself from anger for good. Reflect on the most recent occasion when you felt intense anger over a situation that was beyond your influence. Perhaps there was a disagreement with someone who was unwilling to understand your viewpoint. Perhaps it was a postponed flight, a missed appointment, or an error made by another that affected you. Now reflect on this. Did my anger bring about any change? Did it alter the circumstances? Improved? Did it grant me any genuine authority? Anger may seem strong, yet it embodies the complete contrary. It is a yielding, a recognition that an outside force has triumphed over your tranquility. It seizes your mind, obscures your clarity, and drives you to act without thought. You could express certain ideas. One often finds themselves regretting impulsive choices or spending countless hours ruminating over circumstances that have already passed. It is the pinnacle of the illusion of control. You think you are pushing against the tide, but in truth, you are surrendering your essence to a circumstance you unable to alter. How does one escape the confines? Begin by releasing your grip. Releasing the belief that life should align with your desires. Releasing the notion that others need to act in a specific manner for your inner tranquility. Releasing the notion that your feelings should be governed by external circumstances. As soon as you take this step, an unusual occurrence unfolds. You cease to react and you begin to respond. You transition from being governed by your feelings to mastering them. Redirect your energy away from what you cannot control and concentrate fully on what lies within your power to change. Your perspective. The choices you make. Your next step. You attain a state of invulnerability, no longer affected by the turmoil that surrounds you. Many individuals rarely feel this depth of inner strength. They devote their whole existence to mastering the unmasterable, battling against situations they can never alter. However, it's not a requirement. Today is the day you can change everything. The next occasion something frustrates you. Cease. Inhale deeply. Consider whether this situation is truly within your grasp. Will my frustration lead to any resolution? If the response is negative, then release it. The universe will forever remain a realm of uncertainty. Individuals may turn against you. Challenges will arise. One will encounter loss, disappointment, and instances of injustice. However, none of these elements possess the ability to inflict pain upon you, unless you allow them. Your mind is the sole possession that you can genuinely claim as your own. The sooner you embrace this, the sooner you gain control over your emotions. And once you take that step, amazing things occur. You should cease feeling angry. You cease to feel disturbed. You begin to embrace a profound sense of tranquility, gliding through existence as though no tempest could ever reach you. Now you perceive the reality. The universe was never within your grasp. Yet your thoughts were ever present. However, if the notion of controlling the external world is merely an illusion, what steps can we take to gain complete mastery over our own thoughts? 2. The secret of Stoicism. Separation from outside evaluation. A man shares a video online, filled with pride for the message he has conveyed. In just a few minutes, the comments begin to pour in. Some are optimistic, while others remain indifferent. However, this is utterly disappointing. You seem to be quite mistaken in your understanding. His stomach knots with tension. He selects the profile of the individual who composed it. No videos. No content. Merely an anonymous figure, concealed behind a display, undermining others. He understands he ought not to be affected, yet the words persist in haunting him. His mind replays them endlessly, despite the fact that the creator has long since moved on, likely never giving it another thought. What is it about the words of others that grants them such influence over our lives? What is it about one piece of criticism? Does it weigh more than 1,000 praises? Many individuals find themselves ensnared by the judgments of those around them, perpetually modifying their actions to seek validation, dreading disapproval, and interpreting every slight as a direct affront. But what if no one's words, whether they be uplifting or harsh, held the ability to move you? What if you could let go, completely navigating through life, unaffected by both praise and criticism? The most significant catalyst for anger is not the events that occur in our lives. It's about the perceptions others hold of us. It feels as though we are under constant scrutiny, with others dissecting our every action and crafting judgments that hold the power to shape our standing. However, here lies the unsettling reality. No one truly cares about you as much as you believe. This is not intended to be harsh. It's freeing. Individuals are often preoccupied with their own concerns, insecurities, and challenges to be overly focused on you. Their assessments are never a reflection of you. They serve as mirrors of their essence. Marcus Aurelius grasped this profoundly. As the ruler of Rome, he encountered relentless criticism, treachery, and public examination. Had he permitted every insult, every whisper of doubt, or every act of opposition to engulf him, he would have been governed by his emotions instead of commanding his empire. Rather, you always have the choice to remain neutral. Reflections. Envision that strength. The capacity to listen to something unfavorable and choose, deliberately, that it has northwest rightful place in your thoughts. Reflect on this in your personal experience. How often have you allowed another's words to shape your feelings? An unkind remark, a casual observation, a glance of disdain. How frequently have these matters occupied your mind for hours, or even days on end? Take a moment to reflect. Did any of those judgments truly alter my essence? Did they change my skills, my principles, or my mission? The response is invariably negative. A genuine Stoic recognizes that the opinions of others are merely distractions. It holds no genuine weight unless we decide to ascribe it significance. Picture yourself strolling along a bustling street when suddenly, a voice from a passing car hurls an insult your way. You are not familiar with them. They are unaware of your existence. They vanish in an instant. Would you allow that single comment to spoil your whole day? Would you? Clinging to it, analyzing it repeatedly in your thoughts. Many individuals would. However, a Stoic would see it for what it truly is. Not pertinent. A fleeting whisper carried by the breeze. Nothing else. This concept is relevant in every aspect of existence. Imagine a creator sharing their masterpiece with the universe. Certain individuals will absolutely adore it. Some may ridicule it. Should the creator permit outside perspectives to steer their choices, they risk becoming ensnared by the need for approval, or immobilized by the dread of disapproval. Regardless, they are no longer complimentary. A Stoic, nonetheless, maintains a sense of detachment. Compliments do not boost their self-importance. Insults do not hurt them. They persist in their creation, embracing life and advancing, undeterred by the transient opinions of others. This is not to suggest that you should dismiss all feedback. Stoicism is not about superiority. It revolves around the ability to perceive and judge wisely. It is essential to distinguish between constructive feedback and unhelpful negativity. Embrace feedback as a tool for your development. If it is just noise, cast it aside. You hold the keys to your own thoughts. Separating oneself from the opinions of others requires effort, yet it can be achieved. When someone insults you next, take a moment to reflect. Rather than responding impulsively, take a moment to reflect. Is this situation concerning me, or is it more about them? 9 times out of 10, their words arise from their own biases, experiences, or self-doubts. The impolite cashier, the hostile driver, the resentful coworker. These individuals are not genuinely responding to you. They are responding to their personal battles, their own lingering discontent. When you cease to take things personally, you unlock a remarkable form of strength. You achieve a state of invincibility. You cease to be governed by the erratic emotions and viewpoints of others. As you navigate through existence, you carry an unwavering tranquility. Fully aware that no external force can shape your identity unless you grant it permission. But what if someone genuinely betrays you? What if their actions transcend mere words? Should you continue to be detached, or is there a method to preserve your influence while also engaging in action? If someone has genuinely wronged you, is it better to remain silent? Or is there a method to preserve your strength without responding emotionally? 3. The strength found in restraint. How to manage every circumstance. A man stands at the heart of a tense negotiation. Inside a building, hostages find themselves ensnared, while armed criminals loom ominously, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. Each moment counts. A misstep, an ill-chosen word, or even an inappropriate tone can spiral the situation into turmoil. Opposite him, the captor is yelling, insisting, menacing. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation, as everyone in the room awaits the negotiator's response. However, he does not. In contrast, he stays utterly motionless. He absorbs, he reflects. He contemplates. Amidst the chaos of fear and emotion that envelopes others, he maintains his composure. In taking this action, he asserts his dominance over the circumstances. This is the strength of remaining unresponsive. Many individuals hold the view that power is derived from force, from being the most vocal, the strongest, or the most confrontational. However, true strength arises from tranquility. The individual who maintains their composure, who stays unflappable while those around them succumb to their emotions, invariably holds the advantage. This is why the most exceptional leaders, negotiators, and warriors throughout history have honed the skill of maintaining composure in the face of pressure. It is the reason Marcus Aurelius, even while governing an empire perpetually at war, could articulate, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Understand this, and you will discover your power. Reflect on the most recent instance when someone stirred your emotions. Perhaps it was a thoughtless remark, an unjust allegation, or an attempt by someone to humiliate you in the presence of others. Your body tightened, your heart pounded, and your instincts urged you to respond, to retaliate, to protect yourself, to show them they were mistaken. What transpired the instant you responded? Did it enhance the circumstances? Or did it intensify? In reality, individuals anticipate responses. When someone hurls an insult your way, they anticipate a reaction of anger. When someone challenges you, they anticipate a defensive reaction. When someone stirs you up, they anticipate a response. What occurs when you provide them with emptiness? Disarray, doubt. A sense of helplessness. By remaining unresponsive, you shift the dynamics. The most formidable individual in any conflict is often the one who chooses to stay silent. Not from a place of weakness, but from a position of control. A skilled negotiator in an FBI hostage crisis maintains a calm demeanor and refrains from arguing with criminals. He takes a moment, weighs his thoughts, and replies with reason. A proficient boxer refrains from delivering erratic punches driven by emotion. He bides his time, preserving his strength, choosing to act only when the moment is just right. A Stoic in daily life behaves similarly. But how do you cultivate this level of mastery? How do you hold back the intense desire to respond when feeling sore? The solution is found in a straightforward yet powerful method. The 3-second rule. When you sense the trigger, anger, frustration, defensiveness, take a moment to pause for 3 seconds and refrain from any action. Inhale deeply, let it out slowly, and pose a single, straightforward question to yourself. Is this situation worth my energy? In most cases, the response tends to be negative. A random jab. Not valuable. A careless driver suddenly veering in front of you. Not valuable. A remark from a colleague that carries a hint of passive aggression. Absolutely not valuable. As those fleeting 3 seconds elapse, your logical reasoning asserts itself, and the surge of emotion diminishes. This is the very principle that top-tier soldiers and martial artists prepare for. In intense combat situations, allowing emotions to take over can lead to fatal consequences. A true fighter must maintain unwavering calm, regardless of how tumultuous the battlefield turns. In life, the arena may change, yet the core principle endures. The one who remains unresponsive shapes the result. Non-reaction does not equate to passivity. It revolves around strategy. By choosing not to react, you place yourself in the role of the observer instead of that of the victim. You perceive the world with clarity. You have the power to manage your energy, direct your focus, and make your own choices. In this process, you completely tilt the scales of influence to your advantage. Picture a confrontation where an individual is fervently attempting to incite a reaction from you. Rather than participating, you choose to remain quiet. Their words hung in the air, unopposed. Observe the unfolding events. They may find themselves feeling exasperated by your indifference, or they might begin to doubt their own judgments. No matter what, you come out on top without even stepping into the ring. This is the same strategy that skilled negotiators employ to take control of conversations. They take their time to reply. They allowed the quiet to take charge. In the realm of commerce, this concept is referred to as the strength of stillness. The capacity to remain quiet while the other individual discloses their vulnerabilities, elaborates excessively, or errs. Once you conquer silence, you gain mastery over the essence of control. However, what about circumstances where decisive action is genuinely necessary? What happens when someone crosses a significant line, commits an injustice, or engages in actions that demand attention? Should you continue to hold your tongue? Is it wise to overlook certain matters for the sake of maintaining self-control? However, when someone genuinely wrongs you, is it better to remain silent? Or is there a method to preserve your strength while also taking action? 4. The craft of detachment. Cease to take matters to heart. A wealthy individual strides through a bustling gathering, each movement scrutinized by onlookers. Out of nowhere, a voice pierces the air, accusing him of being a fraud, a failure, a disgrace. The audience shifts their gaze to observe his response. Many individuals in his situation might feel indignant, protective, furious, and eager to demonstrate their value. However, he takes an unexpected turn. He beams. He lets out a quiet chuckle. Then he just strolls off, utterly unfazed. Who emerged victorious in that moment? The individual who raised his voice, fervently yearning for a response? Or the individual who stayed aloof, unbothered and unrestrained? The reality is, nothing holds personal significance unless you choose to perceive it that way. This captures the core of Stoic mastery. The capacity to release the notion that others' words, opinions, and actions are in any way a reflection of you. They are not. Individuals behave according to their feelings, their prejudices, and their previous encounters. You exist merely as a spectator in their private realm. Seneca, a prominent figure in Stoic philosophy, grasped this concept profoundly. He penned, "What others do is their affair. Your actions belong to you." Once you truly embrace this concept, you elevate yourself to a realm of mental fortitude that the majority of individuals never attain. You are no longer at the mercy of the world. It is of no consequence if someone insults you, criticizes you, or attempts to belittle you. Their words carry no significance unless you choose to empower them. Picture two individuals navigating through a tempest. One laments the rain, shouts at the clouds, grumbles about the injustice of it all. The other just goes along with it. He doesn't let the rain get to him. He does not hold the sky accountable for its nature. He adapts, progresses, and finds tranquility. Life remains unchanged. Individuals are alike. Some will show kindness. Some will show no mercy. There will be those who cherish you. There will be those who dislike you. However, none of it genuinely revolves around you. It revolves around them. Reflect on the most recent occasion when someone hurled an insult your way. Perhaps they claimed you lacked competence. Perhaps they labeled you as fragile. Perhaps your ideas were overlooked. Now reflect on whether their judgment stemmed from a profound understanding, or if it was merely an opinion hastily formed in an instant. The truth is, many criticisms lack careful consideration. They are swift, passionate, and frequently serve as a mirror to the individual expressing them, rather than the one being evaluated. A genuine Stoic perceives the truth behind this facade. He realizes that if an insult can rattle him, it is not the insult that holds the power. It is his personal connection to the language. He discovers the art of release. Watching the world unfold without clinging, without personalizing experiences. A transformative exercise exists that can alter your perspective on criticism for good. When faced with an insult, choose not to respond. Rather, remind yourself that this is their perspective, not my truth. Repeat that. Say it as often as necessary until it truly resonates. Observe the unfolding events. The offense becomes utterly meaningless. It no longer adheres. It dissolves into oblivion, for you failed to embrace it as reality. There is an expectation for you to respond. They anticipate that you will stand your ground, to engage in debate, to sense hostility. However, once you disrupt that routine, you attain an invincible status. You transition from being reactive to becoming an observer. Take control of your feelings and stop allowing others to influence them. A true fighter remains unaffected by slights. A true leader stands firm in the face of criticism. A true master of thought remains unshaken by the words of others, steadfast in his own reality. He recognizes that his worth is not reliant on outside approval. Separating oneself from personal offense does not imply becoming devoid of emotion. It signifies selecting the areas in which to direct your efforts. Picture yourself lugging around a backpack brimming with heavy stones. Every stone signifies a slight, a critique, a hope imposed on you by those around you. Many individuals navigate through existence burdened by these weights, permitting them to hinder their progress. However, it's not a necessity. You can shed the pounds. By choosing not to carry the weight of others' opinions, you can tread more lightly, accelerate your movements, and embrace a life of greater freedom. This perspective goes further than mere insults. It pertains to rejection, failure, and even praise. Relying on validation for your sense of worth will inevitably lead to your downfall when faced with criticism. Maintaining a balanced perspective is essential. No matter the opinions of those around you, you remain unaffected by praise and criticism alike. Remain true to yourself, unaffected by the ever-changing views of those around you. When someone attempts to undermine you, take a moment to reflect. Inhale deeply. Consider whether this truly pertains to you or if it concerns others. Often, you'll come to understand that it really has nothing to do with you whatsoever. And just like that, the burden has lifted. The tempest subsides. You stroll away, grinning and scathed, unwavering, and genuinely liberated. But what if, despite your utmost attempts, you still sense anger bubbling up within? What if the feeling is too intense to overlook? How do you handle it without losing your grip? However, if you find that anger is bubbling up within you, what steps can you take to manage it without letting it take over? 5. Memento mori. Embracing the inevitability of death dissolves all resentment. A man awakens, his gaze fixed on the stark white ceiling of a hospital room. His body bears the marks of struggle, each breath sending a jolt through his aching ribs, while his thoughts drift in a haze of trauma. Just hours ago, he found himself in a car, racing down the highway, consumed by thoughts of work, stress and arguments, issues that, in that moment, seemed overwhelmingly significant. In a heartbeat, everything transformed. Metal contorted, glass splintered, and the universe spiraled into chaos. He narrowly escaped with his life. Now, as he rests in that hospital bed, a singular thought consumes him. Why did I spend so much time on things that were insignificant? Nothing alters a person's viewpoint quite like the confrontation with mortality. It removes all illusions, all distractions, all insignificant concerns, disputes, resentments, ego, fury. Out of the blue, everything feels insignificant now. What once occupied my thoughts now seems trivial, unimportant, even somewhat amusing. When you genuinely grasp that time is finite, you cease squandering it on matters of little significance. This embodies the essence of memento mori, the Stoic practice of acknowledging the inevitability of death. It might seem grim initially, yet it stands as one of the most freeing insights one can experience. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who embraced philosophy, grasped this profoundly. He penned, "You might depart from life at this very moment. Allow that to shape your actions, words, and thoughts." Reflections. These were more than mere words to him. They represented a distinct way of living. Each choice, each response, each feeling was seen through the prism of life's fragility. Consider this: if today were your final day, would this disagreement hold any significance? If you had just a few hours remaining, would you choose to waste them harboring anger towards a stranger who cut you off in traffic? Would you squander valuable time harboring resentment towards someone for an insult? Would you permit yourself to be overwhelmed by insignificant irritations? The response is invariably negative. In the presence of mortality, our focus transforms immediately. What genuinely holds significance emerges clearly. Affection. Objective. Existence. Thankfulness. However, here's the situation. A near-death experience isn't necessary to achieve this clarity. There's no need to postpone living wisely until your last moments. You can begin to perceive life from the perspective of someone who truly grasps its fleeting nature. And when you do, something extraordinary unfolds. Fury fades away. Consider anger to be a thief. It robs you of your time, your tranquility, your vitality. It persuades you that trivial disputes deserve your focus. However, when you realize that life is limited, you begin to safeguard your time as fiercely as a warrior defends his realm. You should be more selective with your time. Picture yourself rising each day and asking, if today were my final day, how would I choose to live? This is not intended to instill fear. Its purpose is to establish concentration. It serves as a gentle reminder to make thoughtful choices, to thoughtfully determine what merits your focus and what does not. An impolite remark from a colleague. Not valuable. A setback in your plans. Not valuable. The clamor of daily irritations. Not deserving of even a moment of your attention. Reflect on the tale of an individual who endured a plane crash. He departed from the ruins, carrying only a sense of thankfulness. Prior to the crash, he was perpetually under pressure, bickering over trivial matters, pursuing things that left him unfulfilled. However, following that instant, everything transformed. He had resolved to no longer let himself be overwhelmed by trivial issues. When he was insulted, he merely smiled. When circumstances took an unexpected turn, he adjusted accordingly. What is the reason? Having glimpsed the brink of existence, he was resolute in not squandering another moment on what held no significance. This represents a profound transformation in perspective. It is not about dismissing feelings. It's about viewing them through a different lens. While anger can surface, when juxtaposed with the enormity of existence and the inevitability of mortality, it quickly diminishes. It no longer holds sway over you. This goes beyond mere philosophy. It is a field of study. Research indicates that individuals who undergo near-death experiences frequently emerge with a profoundly altered perspective. Their minds transform. They grow in patience, compassion, and presence. They cease to respond with strong emotions to matters that once infuriated them. What is the reason? They understand, at a fundamental level, that life is far too brief for trivialities. This transition can be achieved smoothly and without any major issues. Begin your journey today. Give this straightforward challenge a go. Each morning, before diving into your day, pose a single question to yourself. If today were my last, would this hold significance? Inquire about it prior to making any decision. Inquire about it prior to every debate. Inquire first before expending energy on frustration. Before long, you'll realize that many pursuits are not deserving of your attention. But what about the things that truly count? What about genuine challenges, authentic problems, and true situations that demand strength and resilience? How do you maintain control over your emotions while still leading a life filled with purpose and discipline? How can you transform these insights into a daily routine, making them instinctive rather than merely a fleeting awareness? 6. The Daily Stoic Ritual: How to Train Your Mind Like a Warrior. A warrior does not enter battle unprepared. He does not awaken with the hope that his instincts will suffice. He practices diligently each and every day. He hones his edge, fortifies his physique, and above all, conquers his thoughts. Life presents a constant barrage of turmoil, harsh words, and obstacles each day. Many individuals respond. The Stoic warrior readies himself. Every notable Stoic, from Marcus Aurelius to Seneca, employed a method for mental conditioning. They did not merely depend on philosophy. They honed it day in and day out, until it became an integral part of their identity. They honed their minds with the same dedication a warrior applies to his physical training, fortifying themselves against any insult, misfortune, or external force that might attempt to unsettle them. Mastering the art of remaining unaffected by external influences lies in the practice of discipline. One does not simply awaken one day with an unwavering mind. It is essential that you construct it. Much like a dedicated fighter honing their skills, there are 2 essential practices you can incorporate into your daily routine that will transform you into someone who maintains composure at all times. The initial clash of the day takes place not in the tangible realm. It is battled within your thoughts. Before anything unfolds, preparation is essential. This is where the age-old Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum takes center stage. It signifies the intentional planning of malevolent acts. It is the craft of mentally gearing up for challenges before they emerge. Picture yourself rising each day and pondering, what challenges might arise today? Initially, this may appear unfavorable. But in truth, it serves as the quintessential instrument for mastery. Rather than being taken by surprise when circumstances don't unfold as you wish, you have already practiced your reaction. Imagine you have a crucial meeting ahead. Rather than wishing for a seamless journey, a Stoic takes the time to prepare. What if my coworker critiques my work? What if there's unforeseen congestion? What if the presentation doesn't unfold as expected? By preparing for these challenges in your mind beforehand, you remain unshaken by any surprises. When the actual event occurs, your emotions remain steady as your mind has already navigated the discomfort. You are no longer responding. A strategy is in motion. Prior to embarking on your day, take a moment to shut your eyes for a full minute. Imagine the most dire situations that could unfold today. A dispute, a pause, a slight. Next, imagine yourself managing each situation with calmness, strength, and total mastery. This is how you prepare yourself for resilience before the day even begins. Every exceptional fighter reflects on his confrontations. Every exceptional leader contemplates their choices. Each remarkable Stoic reflects deeply on their own thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, even while governing an empire, dedicated time each night to his personal journal, not to seek admiration or public approval, but to reflect on his own discipline. He would ponder, did I respond with insight today? Did I allow my feelings to take the reins? Or was it I who held the reins? What might I have improved upon? This daily self-reflection serves as an incredibly potent instrument for personal development. Without analysis, improvement remains out of reach. Self-mastery is unattainable without personal accountability. At the close of each day, dedicate 5 minutes to contemplate your reactions to life's obstacles. Recall a specific instance when you maintained your composure while those around you may have responded with heightened emotions, acknowledging the power in your ability to hold back. Then, recognize a moment when feelings overwhelmed you, not with criticism, but as a chance for growth. Ultimately, reflect on how you can navigate similar circumstances more effectively moving forward, guaranteeing that each day fosters deeper self-control. This straightforward practice, when done regularly, will cultivate a steadfast mindset, one that embodies resilience, discipline, and complete self-mastery. This exercise reshapes your mind. With every passing night, you grow more powerful than you were the day before. Many individuals think that emotional control is merely a characteristic of one's personality. It is not. It is an art, one that requires daily practice. Consider your mind as if it were a muscle. Consistent weightlifting leads to a stronger physique. By practicing your responses daily, you can forge a mind that is resilient and steadfast. Each time you hold back from responding with emotion, you fortify this mental strength. Each moment you take to pause rather than react impulsively, you are preparing yourself for the challenges that lie ahead. As time passes, you evolve into a person who remains calm, who doesn't internalize issues, and who navigates every circumstance by mastering your own reactions. Picture a reality where you are untouched by the chaos around you, even when faced with an insult from someone. You dismiss it with a shrug. Plans shift in unforeseen ways. You adjust. Challenging circumstances emerge. Stay composed. This is not a dream. This is a skill set you can cultivate. The Stoics were not extraordinary beings. They exhibited a strong sense of discipline. And now you are as well. However, understanding this alone is insufficient. It is essential to engage in regular practice. Tomorrow, you should rise and begin your day with a thoughtful consideration of potential challenges. Conclude your day with contemplation and improvement. By practicing this daily, there will come a moment when you glance around and recognize that anger no longer has a hold on you. I remain unresponsive. I focus my energy on what truly counts. I possess complete mastery over my thoughts. As a result, I possess complete authority over my existence. However, this is merely the start. Now that you possess the blueprint for an unbreakable mind, what actions will you take with it? Marcus Aurelius governed an empire in chaos. Conflicts, treachery, epidemics, and relentless strain. Nevertheless, amidst it all, he stayed poised, unwavering, invulnerable. He understood what many individuals fail to grasp. You hold the power to remain undisturbed by the world around you, as long as you choose to protect your peace. He gained mastery over his emotions not through suppression, but by recognizing that he alone held the reins of his mind. At this moment, the inquiry shifts its focus to you. Will you allow minor annoyances to control your tranquility? Will you continue to surrender your strength to insults, delays, and minor annoyances? Will you elevate yourself, adopt the principles of a Stoic, and seize complete mastery over your inner realm? This evening, before you drift off, dedicate 5 minutes. Consider: did I respond with insight today? Did I concentrate on what is within my grasp? This is how you cultivate your thoughts. This is the path to becoming unbreakable. Not by waiting for a simpler existence, but by crafting a more resilient self. If you're prepared to cultivate an unyielding mindset, type unshakable in the observations. Show the world your dedication. If this message resonates with you, please like this video and share it. Share it with someone who could benefit and subscribe for additional insights. United, we are creating a collective of individuals who will not be dominated by the turmoil surrounding them. Before you leave, take a moment to ponder one last question. What if you approached each day with the mindset that nothing could disrupt your tranquility? What would be different? Your adventure begins today.